So first question for you, kind of looking at the bowl game, how do you kind of anticipate splitting up the responsibilities for OC and DC jobs?
Well, right now it's been one of those things where it's prioritize and execute. There's a million things different going on this week, from signing day, from roster retention to obviously coaches leaving, so got to prioritize that. Excited on the defensive side, I'll call the plays. Getting back in it, I got to get them out of my mouth again a little bit, but we'll do some move the ball and all that type of stuff. Excited to get back in that preparation and be able to do that. Coach Malone, I'll weigh heavy on, as we go throughout the course of operating things on a day-to-day basis. Jahad Woods will help us in the linebacker room and did a hell of a job today working through that, and then Coach Kuz will call the plays on offense. He's worked with John all year. I think they're in good sync, good rhythm. Love what he has done, just kind of in series, in game, when he was helping Coach Arbuckle, and I think he's got that vision and he's coordinated before. So excited about those responsibilities, and we'll execute moving forward.
Kind of on that as well, have you started the process of interviewing OC and DC candidates, and what's kind of the timeline you're looking at there?
Yeah, that's part of the prioritize and execute. That's going to be part of this weekend, interviewing in-house candidates, interviewing, people around the country, but finding the right person. I won't be in a hurry. I hate timelines because then guess what, Jamie? You ask me about it every day. You got 8 days left, coach. You got 7 days left, coach, right? So just when it's right, and got a bunch of interest for this job. I think that's the cool part when things happen. It isn't just people that need jobs, it's people that understand what we've done here, how we've done it on both sides of the ball, and I think the culture that we've built here, and I think that's really important. So I'm excited about those guys, and we'll find the right pieces for our staff.
How would you kind of characterize the process right now of re-recruiting the roster, and kind of what are you expecting when the portal does open up on Monday?
I talked a little bit about it, guys. My feelings towards the calendar, right? I would love to see wildly expanded playoffs because kids want to play in the playoffs. And, the big thing is, in the portal at the end of the day, the 105's coming. So you'll see probably 15 to 20 guys. And it's walk-ons, right, that are unsure of their position. It's guys on our roster that need opportunities to go play. There's also guys that have played for us that have been offered large sums of money that it's tough. It's really tough. And we show them why they should be here. We show them our developmental process. We build those relationships, but it's just tough at the end of the day when you find a kid, you offer them, you're the only big school to do that. Once you develop them, people come down and do some things with that. So we're just in a weird place at college football. It's not just happening to us. It's happening all the way around the country. And at some point we got to get some real guardrails on building teams because from a general manager standpoint, you never know who's going to be coming and going that year, and the position groups can be decimated, and we'll navigate it. We'll never lock our knees. We'll continue to attack, and we'll thrive just like Cougs always have done.
With that roster retention, what is that process like, and how do you kind of go about that?
So I meet one-on-one with every kid after the year. I don't know what other head coaches do. We talk about their strengths. We talk about things they need to work on. They give me tons of feedback on their coaches, on myself, on our program. I love those times, but unfortunately, there is now an extreme business side to those conversations. And trust me, I've been Zooming and communicating with families because I think the one thing the second parties are doing are really getting to families, probably maybe over the kids nowadays. So I just have really good, hard, honest conversations. Some of them go the way you want. Some of them you're really worried about some of those players being ready for what's next. And, you just got to keep navigating a, process and trying to figure out what's best for us.
What have those talks been like with John, and kind of where's his head at right now?
Those are private conversations. They've been really good. We've done an amazing job of putting together, a package for John that I think is fair, and he knows his value here. He knows how much he's loved, and I think it really means something for him to be here. I don't take that for granted. I also take a step back and want to mentor him, want to help him, want to navigate him through this, and the talks have been really, really positive, and we'll continue to navigate that as they go.
When you do have these kids who are, faced with life-changing money, still in college, I guess just kind of what do you try and sell them on here? You mentioned the development and things that you've done in the past, but what really about this place do you try and impart on them?
Life-changing money is all relative, and the numbers are big, they're staggering sometimes, and every family and kid's in different situation. Biggest thing is the ultimate payday is what's next. So what sets you up best for what's next? Is it people at the highest level are paying for backups. So if you're a 70 snap guy here, you go be a 20 snap guy somewhere else, you just gave up 500 snaps to get better, to grow, and to be evaluated by the NFL. I think it's a big, big deal. People thrive where they're comfortable. I get to listen a lot about the brotherhood here and the culture that we've built and how we treat players. They have an extreme confidence in Ben Anakioni in our strength room. So we're selling all of that, and there's a big picture approach. And there's not a lot of data yet. This portal thing and how crazy it is still 3 to 4 years. It'll be interesting 20 years from now how worth it all was, or who gets lost in the shuffle, or who gets treated unfairly, once they don't, need what you have. To me, people aren't just loyal to you. A lot of times in society, they're loyal to what they need from you. And as soon as those needs change, so does their loyalty. Right? We built a trust up with these kids, and what that means to them, I don't know, right? They have to have those hard conversations at 17 through 21, and that's very difficult. I'm trying to help them navigate through it.
And then just in talks with your team since Coach Buck and Coach Schmed left, what has kind of been their response, and what are you kind of seeing from them since that and as you move forward?
First off, I've said this many times, I'm always here to have our staff advance and grow and do things that are better for their family. Right now I think we've done a really good job on the offensive side of the ball, finding the right people. Eric left to have a really good head coaching job, and Ben, is at one of the power players in the country. So really proud of that, and congratulations to him and his family. But change is part of this process. Excited about building what we have the last 3 years and continuing to be here and being able to do that. So it's part of the process now with these kids, and change happens all around them. So my problem is ultimately, we got to finish the season. You know what I mean? That's the problem. We got to finish the season. These bowl games have turned into sometimes freshman, games and future games, right? And I want it to be able to finish the season. That's really important to me.
And just going off that, to see a large majority of your seniors still out here giving it their all every day in practice for this bowl game, what does that mean to you?
Well, we always say this is winter camp. Okay, Quinn came to me and said, "No, Coach, this is winter's camp." Right? You got to earn this. And I want, everyone to take a step back and look at it. We're going to be in one of the top 3 Pac-12 bowls. So that means we handled the transition better than 75% of the other Pac-12s. Yes, we could have finished better. Yes, there was more out there for us. Okay, yes, there's tons of learns from that. But remember, for the bowl games, they take away one of our wins, right? So we really are equated in bowls at a 7-win team instead of an 8. But we earned one of those bowl games. So excited about those guys, and those seniors did that, right? This is a player's game, so they're fired up to compete. We're going to get a major Power 4 team to compete with. Those guys are fired up for that, and we're excited about putting the best plan together to go attack that.